Hello guys, today we are playing My Home Plus. There's a blue card there, and then we can start it.
Also, Kiara's room was on the opposite side of the master bedroom wall. Were her earbuds really so soundproofed that she didn't hear any commotion
Hi,
from
Mom.
the master bedroom? But
Hi.
just like Darian, there wasn't enough evidence to refute any of Kiara's claims.
Here you go.
Melanie and
Thank
William
you.
were also questioned, but there weren't any major revelations during their interviews.
If I told you that I suspected it was somebody close to the family, who would you think that might be responsible for it?
Obviously, no idea because everyone.
I can't wait for behalf party.
Any idea who might be responsible for this?
No, I wish I don't know anyone who would want to hurt them.
Okay.
Once all of the interviews were finished, the Allen family was free to leave. But since their house was still considered a crime scene, they stayed at a
Ding dong! Will you please get that ring?
Were able to obtain
Okay.
surveillance footage from a bank that is located on West Main Street, the primary road that leads in and out of Olney. At exactly 6:31 a.m., someone was captured riding a bicycle into Olney, away from Lake Cooper, where Manu's body was found. This individual matched the description.
Yay! Hello, friends.
A gray sweater, black
Hello.
pants, backpack.
Hello.
But unfortunately,
Hello.
the suspect's face
Hello.
wasn't in clear view. One thing was certain: this person's stature did not match the
Nice to
number
meet
one
you
suspect.
guys.
Also, there were the bikes in the Allen's garage.
Come on,
with
come
the
in.
tracks that were in the mud. So it was unlikely that the person in the video was one of the Allens. However,
I wanna
the
see your
investigators found another item in the Allen household that was extremely damaging.
Oh, look
to
at
Peter.
your
In the master
doggy.
bedroom, they found a
Yeah,
compression
he's
sock
sleeping.
covered in blood. The pattern on the
Oh,
bottom of the
days.
sock matched the bloody footprint in the kitchen. Peter was asked to come back to the police station where Texas Ranger
Guys,
Shea
does it matter that when
Ranger Shea started off by asking
so
Peter
when
how he was
I'm
holding up.
down
He
in
said
the
that
living
things had
room,
been hard.
it does
became
this and
overwhelmed
it
with
and it
emotion.
doesn't let me do this. This doesn't matter if it's doing that. Just pretend it's doing it.
Sometimes it corrects,
Oh, what
sometimes
is?
it doesn't. Sometimes it's so outraged. I want to talk. I'll see. I'm dead.
Before confronting
Whoa,
him, they spent
look at
a
your
large portion
bedroom.
of the interview
Hi.
going over his story of life.
Hi,
When was the last time?
look at your baby. Wee wee wee. You wake him up. Sorry, I just like him. He's so cute. Yeah, he's got hair like me. I want
For the
to
most
fall
part,
asleep in
Peter's
it.
story was consistent with the statements he made in the last interview, but there were some crucial new details.
Hi.
Apparently, he did hear some noises that night. Around 5 a.m., he heard Manu's vehicle starting up.
I heard it started up, and then all of a sudden I didn't hear anything. The same neighbor, my wife, went to also to get them coffee or something. No. Usually get it.
Oh.
Maybe check, go get coffee. Every once in a while, she would get up and go get a note, and that didn't make sense, but it did in the shop the day before. None of this makes sense to me.
Hi, friends.
He also
Hi.
heard something within the
Where
house
is
that night, but didn't
my
think
best
much of it
friend?
at the time.
Well, she's in her room.
That's gotta be Darian.
After several hours of
What do
letting
you
Peter
mean?
talk, Ranger Shea relentlessly
Yeah, I'm back
pointed
here.
out
Sorry.
how ridiculous his story sounded.
And I'm being honest with you, Peter, and we've been sitting here for probably 4 or 5 hours right now talking. I think there's more to it than what you're telling me. Just listen to me. You knew whoever left that.
What is happening?
Because that is too much.
Oh,
You knew
sorry,
that
guys.
too because of your
You wasn't my brother. Oh, hello, geek.
Nobody
Oh, yeah.
wants to think that the wife would be murdered in their house while they sit and deliver. What kind of man do you think it makes me feel like knowing that I was sitting
What do I
there
play
and
outside?
some was in there killing my wife?
Hi.
Don't go straight in the house and know exactly where your keys are at. Just
Hi, Bob.
take the keys.
Hi.
I know that doesn't make sense either.
He confronted Peter about the footprint in the
It's-
kitchen, explaining that he was the only one that could have done this.
The person who did this did not break into your house and put on your socks and kill your wife.
You're wearing my socks. It makes no sense.
It didn't make any sense they sneak into your room, put on your socks, kill your wife, Go get the keys where nobody knew except for you and your kids, and leave without anybody hearing it. It makes no sense at all. It doesn't happen. Hey,
Peter, I did not lie. I did not explain this. I don't know what happened.
why would somebody fill on your socks and kill your wife?
I have no crime to do. I did not harm my wife.
When this thing comes to a head and a jury believes you stabbed your wife 46 times, they're going to put you in the electric chair.
I may not do it. I'm innocent and I know it. And my kids know it. If I lose, I
Wee.
lose. I lose my kids lose their father. But at least I know now. No.
Wee.
That
I
I
go to the
had
inside.
nothing to do with this.
It was clear that Peter wasn't going to confess anytime soon, since all of the evidence linking him to the crime was circumstantial. Peter was free to leave. The investigators believed that it was only a matter of time before Peter
what
would
the
be back
heck?
at the station in Paris. By this point in the investigation, the Allen household was no longer needed, so the Allen family was allowed to go back home. Peter's good friend, Verl Wolverton, drove from Arkansas to Texas to support the family through this hard time. Even he found it strange that Peter didn't hear Manu being attacked, so he decided to do an experiment with Darian. Darian went into the master bedroom and screamed as loud as he could while Verl sat on the living room couch. Verl couldn't hear
I'm
anything.
gonna do
He and
the
Darian
dishwasher.
swapped places, and Darian could hardly
I
hear
can't do
anything as well. They took this information straight to the investigators. The investigators weren't fully convinced that Peter was innocent, but they didn't want to get tunnel vision, so they decided to look into some other possibilities. Although there were no signs of a forced entry, perhaps this really was a burglary gone wrong. After all, it was well known in the community that Peter was an avid gun collector, and there was another gun burglary in Olney just a month prior. One of the main suspects in that burglary was 17-year-old Corey Taylor. Corey was a student at Olney High School, where Peter and Manu were teachers. He was known to cause trouble and had several run-ins with the police in the past. Sergeant Burbeck was tasked with bringing Corey down to the station for an interview. When he arrived at Corey's apartment complex, he noticed a bike under the stairs leading up to Corey's apartment. He inspected the wheels, and the tread pattern looked very similar to the tracks left in the mud near Manu's body. When Burbeck spoke to Corey, he asked whose bike it was, and Corey told him that it belonged to his friend Julius Mullins. When Burbeck told Ranger Schraub about the bike and said that it belonged to Julius Mullins, alarm bells rang. Schraub recognized that name. It turns out that the day after Melanie was interviewed, she actually went to the police station with something to tell the investigators. While trying to figure out who could have killed her mother, someone came to mind. Her ex-boyfriend, Julius Mullins, the same person that Peter brought up during his interrogation.
Did you get mad at all regards and bring it up? I'm not saying it's saying no.
She provided a written statement to the police saying that she, quote, knew for a fact that when Julius was younger, he used to be in a gang, partook in drugs, and had killed people. At the time that Melanie told them this, the detectives were hyper-focused on investigating Peter, and they weren't sure if there was any weight behind her statement. But now that they had compared his bike tires to the tracks at the crime scene, they were eager to bring him in for an interview. Sergeant Burbeck brought Corey along while he picked up Julius, and all three of them went back to the station. Corey was then brought into the interrogation room with Ranger Shea, while Julius waited in another room.
First of all, you didn't say you got under arrest or anything like that.
Corey said that he hardly knew the Allens and had never been inside their home.
You never been there?
At this point, the investigators weren't really concerned about Corey's involvement. They were more interested in what Corey knew about Julius. Apparently, Julius had a reputation of getting in trouble with the law. When he was in middle school, he spent some time in a juvenile detention center. And more recently, he had been charged with the possession of marijuana. His father didn't want this kind of behavior around Julius's younger brothers, so he told Julius to smarten up or find somewhere else to live. Since then, Julius had been couch surfing at different people's houses, including Corey's. Apparently, when Melanie broke up with him, Julius was heartbroken. His behavior shifted and he became extremely unpredictable. Corey was especially concerned when Julius started recklessly handling guns around his family.
You start bringing guns in my house. You scared me and my boy. The higher spirit was as a little iffy.
The investigators wondered if Julius's recent interest in guns motivated him to steal from Peter's extensive gun collection.
So, what has he told you about Miss Allen going missing?
He hasn't really said anything to me, but it's weird how like he knew about her. He supposedly was doing Christmas as well, so I'm kind of out taking closer because all that she was messy in the home, so
Do you think Julius had anything to do with it?
he might have something to do with it because I mean he's been in the house, he knows what it looks like. He probably knows where everything's at.
Corey's interview was concluded, and it was now time for Julius to face questioning.
Tell me about Miss Allen.
Julius said that
I
for the
wanna-
year that he was with Melanie,
I
Lonnie
wanna
had treated
go
him like family. She even let him stay at
to-
the house for a while when he was having problems
to
at home.
play.
She's quiet one of the people
Outside.
that stay out else.
Take
She was
her. Take ah! You pushed me. Sorry, it's by accident.
So, how long did you want it?
Mommy, what? Leon
Was there
pushed me on the door by accident. Okay, I'm gonna put a bandage on you.
Why no breakup?
She said she wanted a break, and I was like, okay,
Ugh.
I'm fine with that.
Although Julius was acting nonchalant about his breakup with Melanie, Corey said that the breakup left Julius devastated. He became antisocial at school and constantly texted Melanie saying that he wanted to get back together. Julius said that he was in disbelief when she told him about her mom's death.
She was like, I was murdered, and I was like, what do you mean? And she said, my mother's blood all over and blood inside. And I was like, I was shocked, like, really, like, hard.
Who do you think did this?
But,
Is their daughter performing pretty bad? You want me to be honest with you, Junior? They think you did it.
yeah,
Apparently, Melanie had accused Julius of being involved in her mother's murder.
she was like, a murderous bastard killed my mother, and then she said all the other things, like, towards me.
Thank you, Mommy. I'm gonna go and brush my teeth.
I wanted to, like, look at her and, like, very serious. I was like, Melanie, I was like, I still love you. I would never do something like that to you.
When the detective asked Julius where he was on the night of the
So
murder, he
guys,
said that he was at Corey's
so
house
now I'm
in
12
Video
years old.
At
I'm
this
gonna
point,
get
the
ready
detectives were
to
unable
go to
make
bed
any more
because it's
progress
at
questioning
like
Julius. So they collected
like
his DNA
night
and
time, so yeah.
fingerprints, and he was free to leave. They immediately compared these fingerprints to the ones found on Manu's car. They were a match. They also obtained a warrant for Julius's phone data, and on the night of Manu's murder, his phone connected to the Allen House Wi-Fi. Julius was swiftly brought back in for another interview, and he was confronted with this evidence.
There's stuff that I already know that you don't know I already know. So don't lie to me. It's okay. This is your opportunity to help yourself out as much as you can. Just, you're wrapped up in this deal and you don't want to get any deeper than what you already are. Okay? When was the last time you were over there at that house? So it's been a month since you've been over there. Why the night that Miss Allen was killed would your phone be pinging off their Wi-Fi?
I didn't go over there. I was doing that close.
Why would your fingerprints be on that vehicle?
I don't know.
The detective spent much of this interview asking these same questions over and over, reiterating that Julius would face the consequences if he didn't tell the truth.
You're both looking at some time in prison if you don't tell them the truth. If they don't give you the death penalty.
But Julius wasn't biting. He adamantly denied any involvement in Manu's murder.
What would be the reason that your fingerprints would be in the blood off the car? Or your DNA?
No, I really don't know.
There is no reason. In her,
Because, like,
No.
you were on my hand.
So guys, this is the end of the video, and like and subscribe and share
Although it was clear that Julius
and
was
comment
lying about
if you
the
love it.
there wasn't
But
any
if you
definitive
hate it,
he was the
I'm just
one
gonna
who
put a
killed him.
thumbs down
Another
on your
possibility
video,
was that
but it's
Peter
okay.
had killed him.
So
Asked
so it's
Julius to help
so
get rid of
that's the
him.
end of the
According to
video.
everyone who
Bye
knew
guys.
Julius, he was desperate to get back